What up, everybody? It's your boy Adam, back at you for another day of Rise and Grind, baby. It is day 27 of the 35-day, 5-week Rise and Grind challenge, and I don't know, man. I'm tired. I'm more tired than I sounded just now, but I did get up at 9 in the morning again. Having an easier time with that. I haven't done an update for a couple of days, but I have been a little bit focused on tidying up my YouTube and X social media platforms, trying to get some things taken care of there that got backed up. I guess that's productive. It's not. Sometimes you have to do the things that are good for the long game instead of scrambling to get the short game taken care of. But I have had a lot of short game stuff that needed to be taken care of. But I have this never-ending list of I'm completely overwhelmed all the time, and I'm burned out from that. The amount of things that I need to do, want to do. I don't know how. Well, rich people do it by paying other people to do all of it for them. But when you're just flying solo and you got to do everything yourself, it's not so easy. Tuesday, I did not. I recorded a video on Tuesday, I think. Yeah, it was day 25, so there's a day 25 video up there. I gave the day on a Rise and Grind scale of 1 to 10. I gave it about a 6. And just to recap what I did, because if I shot a video that day, that's, in the middle of the day. I had a client. I haven't heard from my client all week. Don't really know what's going on there, but it's all good. I got paid. But it does have an effect if I don't get any feedback throughout the week of what I'm working on. I feel like I'm flying blind a little bit on this project, but it'll be fine. I did sleep until 10 a.m. Got a knock on the door. It was just the landlord asking me if I'd be here for the dumpster to be delivered. So we're supposed to be getting a dumpster this week. And just hold on a second. I'm not even going to edit this out. That air conditioner thing will make all kinds of noise, and it gets on my nerves. I don't even think you hear it in the videos, but so one of the things I don't like about this place is the garbage situation. The landlord usually comes and takes everybody's trash away, but he hasn't done that for weeks because he says he's getting a dumpster for us. And I'm like, okay, that's great. There'll be a dumpster on the property. Just go throw my stuff in there, and then somebody comes and gets the dumpster every couple of weeks or whatever. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Well, it was supposed to be here on Tuesday, and it's not here. It's Thursday morning where nobody knows where the dumpster is. So I didn't know we were getting a dumpster, and he hadn't taken my trash in a while, so I had to get another trash can to start putting my trash in, which I didn't really care that much about it. But now both trash cans are completely packed full, and I can't fit another thing in these trash cans. And it's going to get to the point where I just have to throw bags of trash out in the driveway and let the animals rip that shit apart and make a big fucking mess everywhere. And then I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not going to go clean the mess. It's not my fucking problem at this point. But I don't want to live in a place that's fucking disgusting. So I don't know what to do right now. If I have to go get another fucking trash can, these trash cans are like $60. Everything's ridiculously fucking expensive now. But if I want to get another matching trash can and have 3 of them, it's going to be like $60. If and when he does get the dumpster here and I have 2 or 3 garbage cans sitting outside, I can repurpose them for something else. Like I can, who knows what I can do with these trash cans, but I'll use them. I mean, I'm not going to just send them back or get rid of them. I'll take them with me when I move. I'm sure they'll come in handy. So I'm not even worried about that other than This garbage is getting out of control and it's pissing me off. Um, Hopefully that'll be resolved this week. I'll reach out because I haven't heard anything. He sent me a text on Tuesday saying that the dumpster was delivered. He must have got some sort of text message or something saying it was delivered. Like, we ain't got no dumpster here, so whoever told you that was full of shit. All right, I'll look into it. So, whatever. There's always going to be something. That's, the point is, doesn't matter. There's always going to be something to deal with. It's just it's the world we live in. Tuesday was bad. The day after working at that bakery is always a drag. It really wears me out. I'm pretty much done with the gym for a minute. Like, I've got so much stuff to do today, and it's already 11 a.m. I've been working for a couple hours on things. If I want to go to the gym, I got to get ready to go at 3. That gives me 4 hours to get stuff done, and then I'm going to the gym, at which point I won't be home till 11 p.m. I would like to go to the gym. I'm just kind of, I got to make a choice. Do I sit here and work and get paid, or go to the gym today? It's really I have a lot of freedom and ability to control my schedule and kind of do what I want, except for one day a week. And I'm frustrated because I can't do what I need to do. And, I'm still, there's going to be another live stream about the time warp that we're living in, because I was just reading something or watching a video yesterday about animals are all. I've been talking about the time warp, that we're like, time is speeding up, and we're all just in this weird, what the fuck is going on? You blink your eyes and 2 days goes by and you're like, what the fuck just happened? Time's moving really fast. And they're saying that even the animals that depend on circadian rhythms and plants and stuff are becoming all fucked up now, because the time is out of sync and it's screwing up the animal world. Like, animals can't even function properly right now because they don't even know what the hell's going on, because something got messed up with time. And I'm more convinced that this is real every day. So there's that. I'm just waiting for this country to crash and burn to the fucking ground, because I hate the United States. I hate it. I wouldn't mind living in a third world dictatorship hellhole somewhere else, and knowing that I'm living in some third world dictatorship hellhole with no freedom and, all that they say that that the United States wants you to believe about the rest of the world. Just for a change of pace, just to get the hell away from this retarded ass shithole, because I hate the United States. I hate it. It's not that easy. It's a lot easier to come here and live when you're an illegal immigrant. It's a lot easier to come here and move here whenever the fuck you want and just set up shop in this country, but it's not so easy to just pack your stuff, because that's what people will tell me. Well, if you don't like it here, you could just leave. I would. I'd be gone if you could just leave. I would have fucking left a long time ago if you can just leave, if it's that easy. Other countries don't really like to let people in. These idiot redneck dipshits are coming from the mentality of people can just walk across the border in the United States and get free health care and get, EBT cards and everything else, and get a room at the Waldorf Astoria and live their best life. Yeah, that's for people to come here. But for me to go there, no, it don't work like that. I know plenty of people who have moved abroad. It don't work like that. So, it's not impossible, but it's not like I can just pack a bag and be like, I'm out, and move. I would not be here if that were the case. But anyway, I was exhausted on Tuesday. Let's go back to the subject here. But I've been dealing with gnats, fungus gnats, I guess they are, and they literally came from this one house plant that got infested with them, and I tried dealing with it multiple different ways, but I had to throw the plant out. I took it out in the yard, way away from the house. I took it way out there, dumped that thing out, and that whole, oh my God, the soil in that plant was a living nightmare. I'm so glad I got rid of that. And boom, the bugs are pretty much gone. I see one here and there flying around, a few pops on the electric bug zappers that I've got strategically placed around the house now. Here and there, there's a pop. So it's, give it 10 days, because they, at the worst case scenario, they live about 10 days. If they found a place to put new eggs, I might have some come back. But I've got everything I need that if I do see a plant pop up with these things again, it's over. I can deal with it right away. So, but it's very much tolerable now. It's gone. It's fine now. But I got other things to do. I really do have to take another day this week to try and. I got to try and get things done. And today's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I've got 3 days. I'm probably going to have to do another 12 to 15 hour stretch per day for 3 straight days to accomplish what I need to accomplish so that I can take Sunday completely off from sitting in front of the computer and deep clean my house again. And that's pretty much my life right now. I want to go fucking camping. I'm at the point I just want to go sit in the fucking woods for a week and do nothing. Do nothing at all. But even that could come to bite me in the ass because I'll be sitting in the woods with no cell phone signal for 3 days, and then I'll come back to, federal probation officer can't get a hold of me, and now they sent the FBI to my house to take me to prison or what. This is the shit I got to deal with for the rest of, it's closing in on May 2nd. It will be 11 more months. So, but I don't got gnats in the house. Bugs are gone. Yay. I sat in another YouTube meeting. Didn't pay attention to it. That was Tuesday. Just kind of worked on stuff like that. Shot a video, like I said. Then after I shot the video, I jumped into Quicken. I've talked about having an accounting system that I made myself in Notion with databases that I put together on my own, mimicking traditional accounting software. It works very well, but aside from the bugs in the bug-riddled piece of garbage software of Notion, so I'm using bug-riddled Quicken. All the software, every single piece of software you use is a bug-riddled piece of shit these days. Every single one. Every single piece of software you use in any way, shape, or form is nothing but a bug-riddled piece of fucking trash these days. All of it. I don't know how it's cobbled together to just barely work. And I'm telling you, I can go the software we use at the bakery, the software I use at home, this thing, every electronic thing that has software on it's fucking trash. The hardware is actually pretty good. They really do a good job these days building some advanced hardware. The physical stuff is actually good. It's the underlying software that runs on it that's complete trash. Utterly garbage. Just total fucking garbage. And it just keeps getting worse. The hardware gets better so it can handle some of the bugs to where you don't notice them because the hardware can the computers are so fast that the bloated buggy garbage code can just run fast and it doesn't freeze and crash the computer anymore. But nobody knows what the fuck's going on under the hood on any piece of software, believe me. We were talking in a live stream a couple weeks back A Ford F-150 has like 2 million lines of code, 2 million lines of code in the software that runs that pickup truck. It's 2 million lines of code. Do you think anybody who writes code for the Ford F-150 pickup truck has any idea what's going on in there? They don't. Believe me, they don't. No one knows what the fuck's going on anymore. It just, they cobble that shit together and fucking hope it works. Cross your fingers and hope no one dies. And if someone dies, then you got to cover it up and bury it under the rug and pay people off and, do what you got to do to not get in trouble. That's how it works. It's fucking trash. And anyway, so I'm transferring all my stuff from Notion to Quicken. I'm in a side trip kind of mindset right now. I can't focus on one topic. I'm just kind of all over the place. Bear with me. But I did find out because, okay, so I've already got everything set up in Quicken, so I didn't have to go through the learning curve of it and figure out how to structure it all, categorize, here's the workflows of how the money goes through and comes out and all that stuff. That I figured out last week. So when I sat down to do this, I had to update 8 days worth of transactions, I don't know, a week's worth of transactions. And it was just boom, 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 boom. Once it was in Notion, and I decided, and I redid it in Quicken because I'm keeping both systems active. Today is the last day, April 30th. So sometime today, probably tomorrow is the day. Tomorrow I will start out the morning with making sure everything in Notion from up until April 30th is solid. And everything is solid and Quicken, and they all match up. And then I'm done with Notion. It's out the door. I'm going to do it all in Quicken. But the Quicken part of it is quick. It was quickening. It did go fast. Once I had everything in Notion and I went and did it in Quicken. So I know moving forward when I sit down to reconcile accounts and all that kind of stuff, because the more I grow and the more of these side hustles I'm doing and the more things start picking up, the more complicated everything's going to get. That's already been the case over the last 2 years. I mean, April 1st of 2024 is when I started tracking everything the day I came home from prison. So everything I've ever done from April 1st, 2024 to April 30th, 2026 is all there. Every single thing. Every single thing. Taking a handful of change out of my pocket, putting it in a jar, is tracked. I can tell you, I took it out of my pocket on this day. It was 72 cents. I dropped it in the change jar. I know how much change is in my change jar without me having to count it, which is kind of cool. Because I used to just, throw money in a change jar and not care about it, and then I'm like, boy, that's getting pretty heavy. I wonder how much is in there. Now I know down to the penny how much is in there. It's kind of funny, but I don't gotta count it. If I want to go to the Coinstar and cash it in for an Amazon gift card, handy tip. If you go to at least back in last time I knew, you could take a thing of change, dump it in one of those Coinstar machines, and they don't charge you a fee if you turn it into an Amazon gift card. You'll get a code, go to Amazon, buy some shit. Otherwise, it's ridiculous. It's probably 15 cents for every dollar now that they charge you if you want to get cash for that. Otherwise, you got to go find a bank. Every single bank has a coin counting machine. But not every bank will let you just give them a jar of coins to deposit into your account. Some of them tell you have to roll the change yourself and put your name and account number on the rolls. But every single bank has a coin counting machine. They can dump a bucket of coins and it'll just churn, count the money and spit out a receipt. And but some of the banks don't want to do that for their customers. Some do. I've had banks where you could do that. You could just take a bucket of coins in and say, here, Kid wants to empty out the piggy bank and go get the birthday gift, or go do something, right? Oh, little Johnny, good job saving your pennies, right? And they'll dump that bucket in a machine. Boom, it's in your account, or you can turn it into cash, whatever you want to do. But not every bank is cool like that. But every bank has the machine. So, shop around when you're looking for a bank. Quicken's easier. It's gonna be quicker for me to do that once I get in. Like if I go 2 weeks without reconciling accounts, Quicken has bugs. They all have. Everything has bugs, but it's quicker to enter stuff in, and it's going to be a little bit better than what I'm doing right now. So that's good. I'm glad. As I was going through this process, I found a discrepancy with one of these horrible, I don't know if you noticed this, but pretty much, not every single one, but credit card websites are fucking trash, like bug-riddled trash. I would say pretty much, I've had a lot of different credit cards over some years, and 8 out of 10, the website's complete fucking trash. Like almost unusable, almost impossible to even figure out what your transactions and your balance and stuff is. I mean, one of the ones I'm dealing with right now make it almost impossible to pay your bill every month. Probably to try and squeeze late fees out of people who can't get the website to work when they go to pay their bill. Horrible websites. So I found a discrepancy, and I thought it looked like it was only 60 cents, but I'm like, why doesn't this match up? And I'm going through all the transactions, and I'm like, this does not match. And it's like 60 cents off, and I'm like, what in the hell is going on? And I'm sitting here. It took me an hour of going through this line by line, line by line, line by line. Like I opened up a spreadsheet, and I'm pasting in the statement. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, this does not match up. I found out that it was missing transactions. It was some stuff that was buried in a statement on page 3. So you get your statement, and it has a list of all your transactions, and then there's like 2 pages of fine print and legal bullshit, and then there's another page with some more transactions. I didn't know that there was shit on that last page. And on this particular credit card website, once they print your statement, they delete all your transactions from the ledger on the website. So you have to download the PDF of your statement and go through that to match up transactions. And it was fees that they charged me, the interest and all that. It was basically their interest charge. One of the discrepancies was their interest charge that didn't show up on the website, but was buried in the statement. And when I found it, I'm like, aha. And because the balance that it was showing me on the website did not match the actual balance, because there was one pending transaction, and the pending transaction wasn't counted at the balance that the website was showing me on the card. So the balance only reflects posted transactions and not pending. And so that whole 60-cent discrepancy, once I figured out what was going on, it all matched up and it was fine. But I had to get on the stupid online chat with the credit card out, because I was on the website already, and I'm like, I'll click the little word balloon, talk to Ranjit over in India, see what the fuck's going on. And he told me, go to page 4 on your statement. And I'm like, oh, thanks. Wouldn't have fucking seen that. So, but this is why you do stuff manually when you're tracking your finances. Reconcile your bank accounts manually. Keep a checkbook. Like back in the day, you had a checkbook, right? You had checks. And then you had that ledger, and you were supposed to write down everything you do. so that you can go to your bank statement and make sure that everything matches up with what you actually did at the end of the month or whatever. Well, you do that electronically now, but you do it by hand. Like, most of these apps, they just expect you to connect your bank account, and then it sucks down all your transactions. And so when you log into the app and you go, okay, there they are, like that, what's the difference between doing that and logging into your online banking account and seeing it there? Like, well, looks like I still got money this month. That's good. Because that's what most people do. They're just like, you get your paycheck, you log into the bank, you're like, okay, it looks like I got some money. That's good. All right, back to my day. Buy a bunch of shit. Wonder why I've only got $50 in my account. Oh, shit, it's because I forgot about that. Or, you know what I mean? And that's what happens if you don't track it. Like, if you don't pay attention to it. Because I used to live like that. I didn't pay that much attention to it. And I would always have, oh shit, I forgot that bill. Or, oh crap, why is my bank account so low? I thought I had this much money. Oh, I didn't know. I forgot about that bill oh crap, I forgot about that check that I wrote. You know what I mean? Like, that happens. Especially when you're living a busy life like we all do. And the only time that I would allow a system like that to automatically download a bunch of transactions would be if I had a business that was like a high volume business where I'm a convenience store, right? People are pumping gas all day and they're buying snacks, and I'm ringing up 300, 500 customers a day. Do you think I'm going to go in and manually enter every transaction in a ledger for that? Fuck no. No. I'm going to import those transactions somewhere and have it, but I will have it imported into a financial tool like Quicken or something like that. But it's going to be its own account, and that account will synchronize with the payment processor. What if it's Square, Card Connect, Clover, whatever. There's a bunch of them. It's gonna synchronize with your card processor, plus your bank. You're gonna have a bank account specifically for depositing the daily take in cash. So when you clean out your register at the end of the day, you go to the bank with your little bag with the zipper on it, and you hand that to the teller, and they put that in your account. You're not going to track. You will have a record somewhere. If you have a good point of sale system, you will have a record of every transaction. But you're not going to manually enter that into a system like this. You're not. Then I wouldn't recommend it. But you are going to go through and make sure that shit lines up. And when you start moving shit around, like you have an account that all the money goes in. When you start piecemealing that to pay your bills, you should be tracking that manually. If let's just say you've got 20 different suppliers and utilities and everything else, you should be manually making sure that all lines up right. And because that's how people steal money from you, is when you're not paying attention. I have caught so many times, 3 to 6 times, credit card fraud where transactions were made that I know I didn't do. That even some of them would look like something I might have done. And if I was just glancing, oh yeah, that looks good to me. Like if I was just logging in and looking at it, I might say, oh yeah, I don't remember doing that, but I probably did. You know what I mean? Like if I'm tracking it manually, I can look at a transaction and be like, hell no, I didn't do that. Like it could be something with Amazon, right? I see an Amazon and I see that. If you're just logging into your bank account and you buy stuff from Amazon all the time and you see some number from Amazon and you're just like, what's that? It's probably that, and you just go about your day. Someone might have bought some crap on Amazon stealing your credit card number. And you wouldn't know if you weren't, I actually go, oh, I see that thing from Amazon. I log into Amazon and look to see where it lines up. Like, did I actually do that? And you want to make sure that it all balances out. And I've caught problems like that many times. So I highly recommend to do that. The YNAB system, you need a budget. I love their accounting software. It's great. So it's the best one I've ever used, cloud-based. And the mobile app, it's great. But they have this budgeting system, and it doesn't work. I have tried it many times. I think it's fucking stupid. And the problem with it is that there's like a Jim Jones Kool-Aid cult around this system where people are just blindly. If you go and ask, they have a website forum where you can ask questions about it and why does it do this and why won't it do that and this and that and the other thing. And these people will jump down your throat like a Reddit post, the Jim Jones Kool-Aid cult, and they'll start yelling at you and telling you that you're stupid and you're not doing it right and you're not doing it the YNAB way and all this and that. And it's obnoxious and it's retarded and it's dumb. And it's the only reason I don't want to use their software, because it doesn't work. Like one of their cult things is that you never use credit cards for anything. Well, then why the fuck would you have them? like it's like you're not supposed to pay your bills with credit cards. You're supposed to pay them with the money that you make. Well, a lot of people have automatic payments go to their credit cards, and then you pay the credit card off when the statement comes out so that you don't pay any interest. And that way you never miss a payment date. Like, that's a system. That's a good system. That's totally against the way of doing things on that cult. And so if you try to do things a certain way, they'll tell you that you have to do things our way or the software won't work for you. And it's like, all right then. So I just cut the budgeting side of that app off. I completely ignored it. I tried to hide it the best I can, because you'll get all kinds of warnings and red numbers and alerts and stuff all over your app, because it's going to basically say your budget is all messed up. But it's because I never used it. I'd never use it. I just used it to keep track of what's in every account and how the money's moving around. And that was good enough for me. Just doing that was enough to keep myself organized and to keep me from doing stupid things and to keep me on track so that I almost never paid bills late. That's what I needed to do. I didn't need to join a fucking cult and drink some ridiculous poison Kool-Aid and, get in front of the fucking dude who pulls the guy's heart out of his chest and holds it up to the people going shush shush bum shush shush bum, while he lowers the guy with no heart down into the lava pit and he's holding up the beating heart while everybody's worshiping the god. You know what I'm talking about if you're Gen X. So but I finished reconciling everything in Quicken super fast. And so I'm after May 1st, after tomorrow, that's the only one I'm using. And I want to cancel my Notion subscription, but now I'm thinking I might need to use it for something else. And I'll talk about that in a minute. Yesterday, so I gave Tuesday a rank of 6 on the scale of 1 to 10. I'm burned out, tired, and the stuff that I did get done was more like YouTube stuff, a little bit of cleaning around the house, just bookkeeping. I found out I had $30 in Kohl's cash sitting here. I was like, ooh, I almost forgot about that. $30, Kohl's cash. You get 1 week to spend it. You get it 1 week, and then 2 weeks later you get to spend that whole. I hate Kohl's. I hate that. But I had to get some clothes. I had to return something to Amazon. You can drop it off at a Kohl's. I had to get a little bit of clothes, and so I have a Kohl's card. So I was like, fuck it, go do that. Get the Kohl's cash. Looking at it, it's like, oh, you have to use it between April 27th and May 3rd, and Tuesday it's sitting on my desk so that I would see it. It was in my pile of receipts, my printed receipts that I keep. I just have a pile of those on my desk, and when I go do this reconciling thing, I keep any receipts that I need to keep, but I just crumple them up and throw them away as I enter things, because the receipt will have the date, that you do the transaction, because when you're looking at your bank statement, you buy something on Tuesday, it shows up on your bank statement on Thursday. I want the date in my system to be the date I bought the stuff, not the date that it showed up at the bank. So that's another reason why, like, you do things manually. Because, okay, like, let's say you want to track down something. Like, say you bought something, you got to take it back to the store. I got to find the damn receipt. What was the date? You go in your bank statement. You're like, oh, it was Thursday, July 15th, but it was actually, last Tuesday that you bought it, and it took a week to show up on your bank statement. That happens. I want to know the day I actually did the thing, not the day that the bank said it was cleared. So these are all just different things these are all reasons why I'm doing things the way I do. But I got my Kohl's cash, $30. I'm not throwing away $30 in Kohl's cash, but I don't want to go to the store. My God, that's a miserable store. I could do. I'm doing a whole live stream about how horrible the stores are now. Kohl's, oh my God, it was crazy bad in there. So I'm just going to the website. I went to the website. I had $30. I decided I want to get a coffee grinder. There's a Cuisinart. I wanted to get the OXO coffee grinder I used to have, but it broke after I got out of prison. And it's a burr grinder. Something went down in there and broke the burr in the grinder. And I'm like, well, that sucks. So my buddy has a Cuisinart coffee grinder, and he's had it for a long time. Kohl's had the exact same one. I'm like, I'll get that one. $30 towards whatever it cost, and put it on my Kohl's card, have it sent here. At least I used my Kohl's cash and got it done. Got a coffee grinder coming, so from now on I can buy. The grocery stores around here, if I need to get coffee and I need to buy it in bulk so I get it at a good price, you got to get whole bean. And there's almost no selection. There's no good selection for ground coffee in any of the grocery stores I shop at around here. And it is, even if I buy it in bulk on Amazon, it's cheaper to get whole bean coffee, and it's fresher. When you don't grind the beans and you keep them whole and you keep them in a sealed bag, and even if you open a bag and you make a bunch of cold brew coffee and whatever, and you reseal the bag, the whole beans stay fresher for much, much longer and retain better flavor and freshness, and it's cheaper. Like, there's no reason not to use whole bean coffee when you do cold brew at the scale that I do it at. It's cheaper, it's better, it's fresher, but it's an extra step. It's more stuff to clean up. But you get a good burr. You need a burr grinder, not a blade grinder. A burr grinder, you can set the coarseness. So you want coarse ground coffee, which that's even better, because with the cold brew system, you want coarse ground, because the bigger the granules, the easier the cleanup and the less silt and sediment that you get in your brewing jar. So the whole process works better with coarse ground coffee, and the coffee comes out a little bit better than fine ground coffee. Is good for automatic drip, etc. And that's the cup. When you get ground coffee, it's for an automatic drip Mr. Coffee piece of shit coffee maker. That's what it's ground for. It's not the right grind for cold brew. It works. It's fine. It's not a big deal. Been doing it for a year and a half or more now, or at least a year now. So, I'd make do. First world problems suck. But now I'm going to be making it first world style with, freshly ground coffee at the time that I brew it. And it will be better. It's a way better system. It'll make cleaning my coffee filters easier, because the coarser the ground, the less likely they are to get all jammed up and stuck in the coffee filter when I gotta wash them by hand. So it's going to be better. Got that done. And that was basically Tuesday. Just whatever I can do, because I'm completely exhausted from working at that bakery. So that's Tuesday. On a grind scale of 1 to 10, it was a 6. Wednesday, that was yesterday. Day 26. Got up at 9 in the morning. Still haven't heard from my client that I need to get feedback from, but not a big deal. I'll just, I got other things I'm working on anyway, so whatever. But yesterday I decided to do maintenance on the YouTube channel. Uploaded more videos, put in all the metadata, posted them, tagged them, all the different things that need to be done there. Did a little bit of tweaking and organizing of the account. I decided I'm trying to ditch Notion completely, but that's usually getting rid of a piece of software that you depend on for years is more of a transitional move where like you keep using the old one, but you start using new ones until you find one that you start moving everything to. And it's kind of like what I'm doing with Quicken, right? I'm still using Notion for a month, but I'm planning on just switching to Quicken at the end of the month. And it's going to be a little bit longer transition to get out of my note-taking app into a new one. I tried one called Obsidian yesterday. I got to get the accounting stuff out of Notion. Notion has a free version, and all the notes that I ever put in there will always be there. I have an Evernote account I stopped using in 2019. I think 2019 was the last time I put notes in Evernote. But I just opened up my Evernote account yesterday and I saw every single note that I ever put in there all the way back to 2014 when I started using it. It's all there. Everything. So they store it for you. It's free. The account's very limited. But the only thing I would ever do in Evernote is go back and look for something that I need. I need some random notes from something I did 10 years ago, whatever. From time to time, I've used it. I've logged into my Evernote live on the YouTube live stream to pull up a screenshot of something I wanted to show you. And it was right there, still being stored. So, but it took me about a year to transition from Evernote to Notion to where I finally made a clean break and I'm just using Notion for notes from now on. And now Notion is a bug-riddled piece of trash to the point where I need to find something new because it's just getting worse and worse and worse over time. And that's what happened to Evernote. It was great for a long time, and then they just kept ruining it some more and making it worse, and it got even worse, and then they made it more expensive, and then they made it worse, and it's so terrible now. It's almost unusable now. So the company crashed and burned because so many, lots and lots of people, that company tanked because they made their software terrible, and everybody got out. Everybody who was paying for that stopped paying, and they lost their shirt. They were a huge company, and they went downhill like a rocket ship and crashed into the ground and blew up because they made their software bad. That's what happens. But now Notion's going in that same direction. They're terrible. And so I'm trying to transition to something new. Obsidian's kind of all right. Has some pros and cons. It stores all your data locally. It's not in the cloud. You can pay them to store your data in the cloud, and then it will synchronize on all your devices. And it's cheap. It's $50 a year or less. If you pay for I think the only way to pay is for a whole year up front. But I started using it yesterday for something real simple, and I didn't run into bugs. Well, I did run into bugs, but it'll take some getting used to. But there's pros and cons. I think I would like it overall if I can just figure out. So there were things with Notion like that I didn't like. I still don't like a lot of things about how Notion works. but you get used to it after some time, and it's not necessarily a bug, it's just the user experience sucks. And there's some things like that already with Obsidian. I used it for one day to make one note file, and I just found things I couldn't stand. But they weren't bugs, outright bugs, they were just things you'd have to get used to. So I will slowly play around with that and see if I can start moving stuff over. Anytime I need to build a no-code database, I'm going to try out Airtable. See if I can get Airtable banging and see if that works out for me. If that works out to be better than Notion, that gives me another thing to get out of Notion, to not ever use Notion for again. So, but that's 1 to 2 years with an app like this to transition from one to the other. When user experience designers switched from Sketch to Figma, it took a long time. It took a couple of years. I worked for a company that was going through an official transition from Sketch to Figma. They had something like 90,000 prototypes or some crazy ass shit like that in Sketch, in a cloud-based Sketch account. You had 60 employees using Sketch for 5 to 10 years. You accumulated some debt. There's tens of thousands of prototypes in there, and they wanted to keep them all. And so the option was keep an active Sketch account to store all that stuff in perpetuity or whatever. You can also download that stuff and store it locally, which was done, so that it could be gone. You could go back and get that again if you ever need to. But there was an automatic conversion tool to convert everything over to Figma. And so we used that. But we basically went through a period of months, several months, probably close to a year, where you had to use both. Like, I would have to log into Sketch and go look at a prototype and make comments on it and work with it and do stuff with it there. And then any new things that we were doing after a certain date were all done in Figma. And so you're bouncing back and forth between these two apps for a long time, but at some point we're going to make a day that we're like, okay, once we're comfortable and we got the whole 60-person team up to speed and every new thing is being done there, and the only time we'd ever need to go back over there is for something old. All right, here's the cutoff date. And then even after the cutoff date, we kept the old stuff live for another 6 months. So there's like, a lot of times you don't just like stop cold and go from one to the other. You usually have to kind of stagger it out and start moving towards a new system slowly, methodically, so that you don't break your current workflow. And so there's just another handy tip for you. It's no different than like, a new version of Windows comes out and you could update your computer. Microsoft might even have automatic updates turned on, which I don't recommend. But, I use my MacBook, I depend on that. If my MacBook were to just die, I'd be in some serious turds. I mean, I'd be in deep shit if that happened. And I'd have to scramble and figure something out real fast to get back on my feet. And so I'm very, very hesitant to update when Mac comes out and says, oh, we got a new system update, because it's going to take an hour, at least an hour of not being able to use your computer at all, just to install the update. And then it's guaranteed that a bunch of stuff's going to get fucked up. Software is going to be messed up. Like you're gonna find problems just because you ran a patch update. So I have to choose. I have to pick a day where I'm like, okay, I can handle the problems that are going to happen today, because I don't have any major deadlines. I don't have any major things going on. But if I turn on automatic updates and I go to sit in front of my Mac and it's borked because some automatic update screwed everything up and now I can't do my job, I'm screwed. So it's that kind of thing. You just don't jump into the pool without dipping your toe in the water to see if the water's good temperature. You know, you don't just jump. Take it from me, you don't jump off a bridge into a river without getting in the water first to see how deep the water is. I did that once, and the water was only up to my waist or just above my waist, and I almost broke my leg on a fucking rock. It hurt. I thought I was gonna jump into the water and I was gonna go deeper than my head, and instead I went bam on a rock, because the whole thing was rocks. And I smacked my knee on a rock so hard I had a golf ball sized bruise on my leg, and I had to canoe for 2 more days to get to the destination with a busted up leg, and then I had to assemble a bicycle that was strapped down to the front of my canoe and get on my bicycle and go on a 60-mile bicycle ride with not a broken leg, but a messed up leg, because I jumped off a bridge. Long story, but I jumped off a bridge not knowing how deep the river was and almost broke my leg on a rock. So it's the same concept when it comes to like transitioning software. You just don't. I wasn't just going to jump off the bridge and jump into Quicken, just like today I'm doing Quicken, right? And then break my leg because I didn't look to see how deep it went. So I didn't, I'm not going to jump into a new piece of software and 3 weeks later find out that this is totally broken and I can't use this, and now I'm in a pickle. I'll go back to what I was doing before. You know what I mean? Like, you ease your way into it. So yesterday I did that. Organize, and these kinds of things take time. Like, it's like a day. I mean, this isn't abnormal. I've worked at companies, software companies, doing my job where I might take 2 whole days out of a week just to set up a piece of software to do something, because it's a new we're trying something new. Oh, we're going to test out Figma today and see if we can use it instead of Sketch. When you're in that evaluation phase, you're not really getting any work done. You're just tinkering around with a new toy to see if it'll do the job, and it might take a week of your life just to rebuild some prototypes you've already built in a new tool to see if you can use the new tool, and you're going to find out, like, what are the problems we're going to run into, what are the bugs, we're trading one set of garbage for another. One's in a hefty trash bag, the other one's Glad, but they're both trash. So whatever, you got to take time to you can't just jump off the bridge without knowing how deep the water is. You'll break a leg, trust me. I came that close to snapping a leg. And let's see. So I organized my YouTube channel, like I said. I went to another dumbass YouTube creator, whatever the hell they call it, Zoom meeting. And basically just listening to a bunch of trendy leftist douchebags gaslighting everybody. So they said, we don't promote content. The algorithm picks what you want to watch. We don't promote anything. Bullshit. When you go to YouTube for the first time, they're going to show you a bunch of shit that they want you to watch. Eventually, the algorithm might figure out your likes and dislikes and then curate the content based on that. But they promote things. They put things on my homepage all the time that I'm not interested in at all. And I will hit the button that says, not interested, don't show this again. Don't show this channel again. Not interested, not interested, not interested. And the same shit comes back to my home screen day after day after day. I could hit that not interested button 1,000 times and they'll put it right back in my face. So bullshit, they don't promote content. They promote they show you what they want you to see, mixed in with kind of what they think you want to see, but they still curate and show you what they want you to watch that's in the same genre of what they think you like to watch. But they're just telling everybody in this meeting, we don't promote content at all. Bullshit, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I just have that. I was going to put these people on blast and make a big thing about being shadow banned and how do you get out of being shadow banned and just make a big stink about it. But I'm in the meeting with a bunch of blue-haired, leftist, trendy-ass douchebags, most of whom have video game channels and just mindless bullshit channels. And I'm just like, and some of them are good channels, like informative, like knowledge-based stuff, like electronics and software. And, there's a guy who does oil paintings and teaches you how to do that. Like, there's some good stuff in there. I'm not, poo-pooing on everybody's, I'm not got any beef with any of the creators. My beef is YouTube. But I just decided, I'm like, you know what, this isn't gonna. It's like showing up to a Trump rally to try and convince everybody that Trump turned his back on us and broke all of his campaign promises. You think you're gonna get anywhere with these red hat retards in the MAGA cult by showing them real shit? No, they're brainwashed Kool-Aid drinking cult members. They're not. It's a waste of your time. So I'm with a bunch of YouTube Kool-Aid cult members, trying to tell them that they're in a cult and that you need to. No, I was like, you know what, this isn't worth my fucking time. So I just did other things. I worked on my YouTube channel while I was listening to that stuff go on in the background, and I'm like, I'm not participating. Turned my camera off. I was like, I'm not even in this today. Like a guy was talking about how he gets 1 million views on every video he posts. He does videos about baseball cards. Baseball cards. I was just talking yesterday about, on the live stream, about how, all America cares about is sports, ball, and beer. And if you took those two things away, there would be a revolution overnight. Washington, D.C. would be a burning pile of rubble within 24 hours. If you remember, during the COVID scam, they took away the football, but they didn't take away the beer. Mom and Pop had to close their store. Johnny had to close the pizza shop and the diner. All the small businesses, they had to go home and just go fuck off and die. You're not allowed to make money anymore. But the liquor store didn't have to close. They were open. The liquor store was open 24/7. Walmart, they didn't have to close. The big billionaire stores didn't have to close. They had enough money to buy the politicians and keep their doors open. But sports ball. I'm from Pittsburgh. I lived in Pittsburgh for like 30 years. 300,000. The population of the city of Pittsburgh is around 300,000. 300,000 people showed up to the parking lot of the football stadium to watch the NFL draft. 300,000 people showed up for that dumb shit. I'm like, the last time I saw a bunch of people get excited about a bunch of rich white guys buying black people at an auction, I haven't seen that shit since the Civil War. That's how obsessed these fucking idiots are. 300,000 people showed up to stand in a parking lot and watch a bunch of rich white guys buy black dudes at an auction. Not even for a football game. And now I'm listening to a guy in a YouTube meeting talk about how he gets 1 million views on his videos because he talks about baseball cards. Baseball cards. 1 million people gonna watch a video about a fucking baseball card. A cardboard fucking card with a fucking baseball player's picture on it. You think 300,000 people would show up to Washington, D.C. and say, hey, can we release those Epstein files already? No. Fuck no. But 300,000 people will show up to watch an NFL slave auction. Like, no problem. No problem getting that crowd to show up. Fucking idiots. So that's where we're at. That's where we're at. So how does this relate to the Rise and Grind Challenge? I sat in this YouTube meeting and I'm listening to them gaslight everybody. The presenter had a MacBook covered in stickers. That's like another sign. I know this video is a bit long, but I hope you're entertained. I could cut it up into shorts. I'm thinking about it. It's time I don't have. I got other things I got to get done today. But I do have a little bit of time to chat with y'all. Another thing, when people show up to a meeting, because I've been in tech for a long time. People show up with a MacBook covered in stickers, pretty much tells me off the bat, this is going to be a fucking asshole that I don't want to talk to and don't want to get to know. And I'm telling you, 99 times out of 100, someone comes to a meeting with a MacBook covered in stickers. Corporate stickers, like they're always like dumbass corporate stickers, like LinkedIn shit, and just dumbass fucking, I like this software, and like fucking Microsoft, a Microsoft sticker on a MacBook. I don't even, Postgres is best, right? Like just dumb ass tech bullshit stickers. That's like wearing a shirt with your company logo on it when you go out on a date, right? Like, like, don't you want to wear a nice shirt? I'm going to wear a shirt that says Douchebag Incorporated with the little fucking corporate logo on a collared shirt, right? And I'm out meeting a chick for drinks. Like, that's what you look like when you cover your fucking MacBook with a bunch of dumbass stickers. Like, it'd be like me having a Notion sticker because I take my notes in Notion, and then an Adobe sticker because I use Photoshop. And it's like, I don't want my computer to look like a fucking vagabond's suitcase. I'm good. I don't want it to look like the back of a fucking liberal's Toyota Prius with the coexist sticker and the Kamala Harris bumper sticker and all the other dumbass trendy leftist bullshit stickers on the back of those cars. Like, I just want my car to be clean. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, when these people show up to the fucking meetings with their MacBook covered in stickers, I'm pretty much, that's a sign to me that, like, oh, here's an asshole. It's like the same thing as like having your required 15 pieces of flair on your uniform when you work at TGI Fridays, and you got your fucking suspenders and you got all the badges and the buttons with the funny slogans and stuff because you have the required 15 pieces of flair. That's what you're doing when you cover your fucking MacBook with your, oh, I've got my 16 pieces of flair on my MacBook. Shut up, you fucking dick, and do your fucking job, asshole. Like, seriously, I hate those fucking people. This one jackass used to show up to the Zoom meetings, and he had this hat with the brim perfectly straight. I've got screenshots of this. I'm not gonna dox the guy, but I did take screenshots of this to show my friends, like, here's the fucking douchebag I gotta deal with today. And all it took was the picture for everybody to know, wow, that guy's a fucking douchebag. They didn't have to see the Zoom meeting and listen to him. The hat did the job. It was like a pink hat on a dude with a perfectly flat brim, not curled, like perfectly flat brim, and it said in big white letters, Helvetica stacked, do good work. And I'm like, oh, who's this fucking dick? As soon as that motherfucker turned on his camera, I was like, what the fuck is this dickhead doing? Like, that was the first thing that came out of my mouth or in my mind, because I didn't say it. Your hat may as well have said, I'm a douchebag. Like, that basically was the same thing. And he was a douchebag. He was a fucking asshole. I couldn't stand the guy. And he would wear this stupid fucking hat to every Zoom meeting. And I'm just like, my God, dude. Like, seriously, go back out and change the words to I'm a douchebag, because that's all you are. Like, and it's just like, these are little things that you can pick up on. Like, I'll know right away. Like, I'm pretty good judge of, I'm a pretty good judge of a book when I only look at the cover. That's all I'm saying. I can tell you what's going to be in the book just by looking at the cover. There was a time I saw, speaking of book covers, I did go to a bookstore and I saw a book cover with an illustration on it, and it was an owl in a tree, and then there was like this statue of an owl, and I'm like, that book's about the Bohemian Grove. And sure enough, I picked that up off the shelf and I start flipping through it. It's a freaking book in like Barnes and Noble, like a regular old bookstore. It was a fictional book, but the story took place at the Bohemian Grove, where all the elite people in the country go to, like, sacrifice children and dance around a giant owl statue wearing Ku Klux Klan outfits for the weekend, and Ronald Reagan and Richard Nixon. Richard Nixon said it was the most goddamn faggy thing I've ever seen in my life. That was his actual quote. So, don't get mad at me, YouTube, for using those words. That was what a president said about it. But the book was about... I knew what was in the book because I saw the cover, and I'm like, that's Bohemian Grove. Turned out it was exactly what the book was about. So I am a good judge. I can look at the book's cover and tell you what's in the book. And I'm pretty damn good at that. There are signs and signals that you can pick up. I'm not always right. Sometimes I think I have a preponderance to assume someone's going to be a douchebag before they prove me wrong. So I do get proven wrong from time to time. But not usually. Not usually. I pick up on a lot of things real fast, before any words come out of your mouth. If I meet someone new. And we all do. That's what it's human nature to do that. In the YouTube meeting, they're like, there's no... he said, gaslighting everybody, we don't have a channel level score that determines what happens when you post a video. Every video has an equal chance of being popular or not popular because the algorithm only looks at the individual video. There is nothing that we do to score your channel to determine what happens to videos when you post it. It's all dependent on how people react to the video when you post the videos. Bullshit. That is complete and total bullshit, and we can do a whole live stream about that, and I will, because I've done more research on that yesterday. After that motherfucker gaslit us with that one, that they don't put a channel level score that determines what happens when you post a video. It's called shadow banning. And they are very adamant at YouTube that they do not shadow ban people. But I'm being shadow banned right now, and according to a bunch of AI bots that I'm asking questions to, talking about being shadow banned on YouTube will get you even more shadow banned because they don't want people to know that they shadow ban people for the things that they say. A complete load of horse shit. And then he said something like, in order to be popular, in order for the algorithm to know who your audience is, you have to do every video basically exactly the same, on the same microscopic niche of a topic, and you can never change your topics, and you always have to talk about the same thing. And if you want to change the subject or you want to talk about something different, you should start a new channel so that the algorithm... Like, you can't talk about, electronics and then bicycles on the same channel. The algorithm will destroy your channel because it doesn't know who your audience is anymore. But then then later on he turned around and said that if you do the same thing over and over on your channel and you just keep doing the same thing and doing the same content over and over again, the algorithm will punish you for that because it just thinks it's a bunch of repetitive content. So he fucking contradicted himself during the meeting. He said, in order for the algorithm to work, you have to do the same thing over and over and over again and talk about the same stuff over and over and over again and adhere to the same formats over and over and over again. But if you do the same thing over and over and over again and stick to the same topics and do the same thing over and over and over again, the algorithm will treat your content as stale and it'll punish you for doing that. Which one's it gonna be, you fucking dick? Like, seriously. It's just nothing but fucking bullshit. Nothing but a bunch of fucking bullshit that comes out of these people's mouth. I hate YouTube. I fucking hate YouTube. I hate the people that work for YouTube. I hate the company. I hate Google. I will never give YouTube or Google. I will never give Google or YouTube a dollar of my money ever again. I used to pay for certain things from having a Google Cloud account. I only use the free version of Gmail and stuff like that. I'll never ever ever give them a dollar for anything ever. And I'm adamant about that one. That's a company I will not fund, not even a penny. If I can't figure out how to do it without paying Google, I won't do it. So I won't pay them for anything ever. I'll use the free stuff for whatever it's good for, but I won't pay for any of it. So I'll take whatever money they want to give me. Bring it. I don't care. More money, cha-ching, in my bank account's no big deal. Another dude was talking about he gets millions of views for motorcycle videos. All right, there's a lot of motorcycle enthusiasts out there. Okay, but then there was some guy who looked like a child molester talking about how he does a channel where he plays on Roblox. He's a fucking 40-year-old guy with blue hair and big old child molester glasses talking about how he plays on Roblox all day and has a YouTube channel for Roblox with millions of viewers. Playing on Roblox is a game for little kids, and it's where child molesters go to find kids to molest. We all know this. That's in the news. Roblox got in trouble because they were kicking people off Roblox who were trying to find the child predators and trick the child predators into meeting them in parking lots and stuff like that so they could get the handcuffs put on. And Roblox kicked those people off the platform because they want the child molesters to be there. And now there's this fucking guy. I'm not telling you I don't know this guy. I don't know what he does in his private life. All I'm telling you is I went to federal prison, okay? If this blue-haired retard with the child molester glasses walked onto the cell block, he would be covered in blood on day one because they don't like child molesters in jail. And I'm not saying that I would participate in that. I did not want anything to do with that shit. He would not last 1 hour in jail. He wouldn't have to tell anybody what he did. They'd know. He would walk onto the cell block, fisticuffs would erupt within about 2 minutes. He would be taken into protective custody, and everybody that beat him up would go to the hole. And that would be his first experience in jail. And that's all I'm saying. He gets on talking about how he gets millions of views putting up videos about fucking playing little kids video games. I'm not going to grow. My channel's not going to grow because I just told you some shit like that that's true, that's real, some real substance, I could dress up like a child molester, go play on fucking little kids video games all day like Roblox, hang out with little kids trying to fucking lure them to the Walmart parking lot so I could go diddle them. I could get 10 million views a day on YouTube doing that, but I can't break out of the shadow ban doing what I'm doing right now, talking about that stuff. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Another guy, there's another blue-haired person talking about blue-haired shit, and I'm just like, yeah, this is not my crowd. I don't know if I'm going to keep going to these stupid-ass meetings, to be honest. It's not doing anything to help me. I'm at the point where I just turn them on, put them in the background, listen. I did get one piece of technical information that I was like, oh. And I took a note, and I was like, okay, I did get one nugget of information, and it was something about you can configure, you can get 2 API keys that you can stream simultaneous to, and you can use StreamYard or OBS or whatever. You can set up a vertical format that you control what it looks like, and a widescreen format that you control the layout and how everything looks, and simultaneously feed those to YouTube, and then YouTube will serve the vertical one to people with their phones like this, and the horizontal one to people watching on their TVs and their desktop computers automatically. So you can cater to both audiences at the same time. And he explained how that works, and I was like, okay, little nugget for the brain, a little bit of knowledge that I didn't know yesterday. So I guess listening to all these blue-haired, trendy, leftist people gaslight me for an hour, I did get one thing I could walk away from that I didn't know. Walk away with something I didn't know yesterday. But this ain't my crowd. These are the people that go to that Coachella and they fucking walk around a music festival with a selfie stick. Look at me, look at me, look at me, I'm an influencer. You fucking cunt. You didn't go to watch a bunch of shitty ass musicians perform a crappy concert for too much money. These are the people that go and ruin things. Like Coachella started out as an anti people like that event, and then the people like that showed up because it was cool and they fucking ruined it. Burning Man was a festival for people to get away from people like that. Go out to the fucking desert, have a good time, hang out with a bunch of cool people, and get away from those fucking douchebags. Until the douchebags showed up because it was cool. Like, oh, we're going to Burning Man now. Fuck! Now what do we do? Now we gotta go start some new thing. Because you fucking assholes came and ruined it. So that's the people that show up to this YouTube meeting. It's dumb. I can't stand it. I don't even know why I got invited to this thing. I'm being told that maybe I was invited so that they can keep tabs on me because I'm the dangerous guy who says things that I'm not supposed to. Or that they can, I don't know, they like gaslighting people because they want me to keep posting videos because they get their pennies. If they do this, if they shadow ban tens of thousands of people where they just kind of let you lay at a low follower count, but you can run ads, collectively that's a lot of money for them, but it's nothing for the individual creator. And so that's basically what they're doing. And it's just stupid. And they're just trying to gaslight me into wanting to do more free labor for them to make money off of. So I'm just using it for what it is. I'm gonna start focusing on other things because I think YouTube's a piece of shit. So there goes the shadow ban again, picking up all the keywords and all the bad things I said today. What else? So I'm I worked on the YouTube channel all day yesterday, and then we did a live stream for 3 hours. And if you watched that live stream, you definitely saw tons of reasons why I'm still shadow banned. So come one, come all. The only way that my channel will grow is if you, the audience, you like what's going on here. You got to go out there and tell people to come watch. Hey, check this guy out. So I will try to put up some short videos and try to do that. I know I'm long-winded. I don't got time to do 100 short videos. I can sit here and talk for a while, and then I'm gonna go back to doing my thing. This is like me taking a break today, kinda. So this morning I got up at 9 a.m. again. I got started right away. I'm focused on beefing up my X account. Yesterday and today I signed up for a scheduling app called Buffer because it's very, very fast. So I'm trying to put a 90-day rotation of automatic posts 5 times a day for weekdays, 3 times a day, Saturday and Sunday, to post funny memes to my timeline. And that's it. So I'm going to use it for now. My X account is growing because I leave funny ass comments, and I have an obnoxious attitude that's way beyond YouTube, and I post stuff on other people's posts as comments. That's how you grow an X account. Nothing that you post on your own timeline will be seen by anybody unless you're Cat Turd or Elon Musk. If you're not either of those people, I have 500 followers now on X. If I post something on my own timeline, it'll get 3 views. 3 views for a meme. That means out of everybody on X, 3 people saw it. Saw the meme. Maybe 1 person hit the like button. That's it. That's what you get with 500 followers. You post something on your own timeline. You got 500 followers, 3 people will see the thing you post. I just saw someone with 200,000 followers today saying that she posted something on her timeline and 10 people saw it. So you have to latch on to people's accounts who do get views and post funny comments to the things that they post. And those blow up. I had one comment on one person. I had a funny Jeffrey Epstein comment that I posted on one person's post, and that got 280,000 views and thousands of likes in one day. But I can post a meme on my own account with 500 followers. 3 people saw it. 3 people saw it out of the 500 that follow me. So that's how broken that one is. X is completely broken as well, because the stuff you post on your own timeline will never be seen. But I'm doing it automatically. I'm just going to post them. I got a collection of memes. May as well do something with them. I collect memes, right? It's like they're like Pokemon. You got to get them all. So I'm going to post them on a routine. I could just set up a 90-day cycle where for the next 90 days, they're just going to show up magical times of the day. And then I can use that to gauge whether my own account is getting any more traction or not. Because so maybe a week from now, I got 600 followers on X, a couple of weeks, whatever it takes. And every time I post a meme, 5 people see it instead of 3 people see it. See it. You're not going to, if 3 people see it, you'll be lucky if one person says that they like it. If you have 100 people see it, you'll be lucky to get 10 people to say they like it. That's 2 different things. So they show you that nobody sees anything that you post. YouTube does that too with the analytics. They tell you how many impressions this video will get. It'll be about 100. 100 people will see it. Maybe 50 people will watch it. Maybe 5 to 10 people will hit the like button. That's it. It's the impressions are what counts. On every social media platform, if nobody sees anything you post, then nobody can interact with anything you post or like it or anything. It's all, they control these platforms by controlling who sees what you post. And if you've got 500 people that follow you, they follow you on X, you would think that when you post something, you've got 500 people who said, I like your stuff, I want to see it. 500 people. But when you post something, only 3 people ever saw it. That's broken. That's a broken system. And it's because X just promotes Cat Turd, Elon Musk, Laura Loomer, all these fucking douchebags, Tucker Carlson. Like, your feed is just full of all these big name douchebags that I actually want to see what other people have to say. It's hard. Because you follow people and you never see anything they post. And it's because their algorithm picks, and it's all curated. So these people are always gaslighting you, saying that, everybody has a chance. No, you don't. No, you don't. You definitely don't. It is very much controlled, very curated, and they pick and choose who grows and who doesn't. The people don't have a fucking say in it. So, as part of my X account, I've got thousands of memes. I got to keep them organized. So I found out I can upload them to Adobe Lightroom. I have a cloud account that I'm not using for anything, and it's got tons of storage space. Get hundreds of gigabytes of storage space for memes. That's like 100,000 memes. But in order to keep them organized, it's a bucket. It's a bucket with thousands of memes. How do you scroll through a bucket like that and find what you're looking for? So you got to put keywords on your memes. Well, now I'm finding out the keywords don't work. I add keywords to the images, and then I go and search for that keyword, and the images don't show up. And then you search for a keyword, a bunch of images that don't even have keywords show up. And basically what's happening, it's a bug. I was just talking about bugs and how we spend all of our life trying to deal with software bugs. But this is a massive bug, and a lot of people are complaining about it. And what happened was AI or Adobe decided we're going to change the search to be AI, and it's going to be so much better. So instead of searching for the keywords that you gave your images so that you could sort them out and keep track of them, they don't look at your keywords anymore that you gave your images. AI just goes through your images and uses AI to figure out, oh, these are the images we think you want to see when you search. So you can't even search your own fucking image library, even though you gave your images tags and categories and keywords to search for them under so that they would come up in the search results. They don't anymore. They ignore the tags that you give your images, and now it's all based on AI and what AI thinks you're looking for. And so you'll type in something, and a bunch of shit that has nothing to do with what you typed in shows up, and you can't find anything anymore. And I sat here for an hour today trying to figure out what the hell's going on there, and that's what I learned. And everybody's complaining about it. Everybody hates it. But that's what, AI, we got to have AI for everything now. So just another fucking bunch of bullshit ruined by this fucking AI shit that I'm getting fucking sick and tired of ruining everything. So there we go. We got that. And now I realize, I'm like, I definitely, and you do too, I spend at least 10% of my entire life trying to fix or work around software bugs. At least 10% of my life, not my job, my entire life. And it's not just computer and software bugs that are directly related to your career, but it could be bugs on the computer. It could be, the phone, your phone, all the devices that you use, your smart watch, your smart this, smart that. I've got a smart scale. It took me an hour to deal with a bug that stupid ass thing had when I bought it. Almost sent it back. We have a smart thermostat at the bakery, and it's always a sweltering sweatshop in there, or ice cold, because the smart thermostat's a fucking piece of shit and it doesn't work. Back in the day, you just had a knob on the wall, you set it to a temperature, and that's the fucking temperature it would be. But now the smart thermostat doesn't fucking work. Basically everything smart is fucking retarded. It should just be the retarded thermostat, the retarded phone, the retarded fridge, the retarded stove, the retarded washing machine. Anything that they put smart in front of, just replace the word smart with fucking retarded. And that's a more accurate description of the thing, right? You got a smart fridge with a computer screen on it that serves you ads all day instead of your food. And it always screws up, and you always got to fucking deal with the bugs that thing's throwing at you. You got a smart washer and dryer that doesn't wash your clothes anymore, and it breaks down, and you're out $1,000 when you could have just bought a 50-year-old washing machine that still works on Craigslist. A smart oven that doesn't cook your fucking food, and then that breaks, and you're out an oven in 6 months after you bought it. Usually about 2 weeks after the warranty goes, right? And the warranty's over, 2 weeks later the oven's dead. Your smart oven. Back in the day, you just turned a fucking knob and you cooked your food. Now you gotta program a fucking computer to bake some fucking Ore-Ida French fries. And it doesn't work. Because it's a smart oven. The Samsung smart oven with a big fucking computer screen on it. Then everything fucking breaks. All this smart bullshit. We're just wasting our lives trying to make the smart bullshit work because it's all a bunch of bug-riddled trash. And I swear it's got to be like 10% of my life. I go to the gym. My Bluetooth headphones don't connect to my phone. Or one side works and the other side doesn't, and I gotta sit there for 20 fucking minutes trying to figure that out and get them working again. My heart rate monitor, my chest strap stops working. It's buggy. It doesn't connect to the app. I gotta disconnect it, reconnect it, unpair it, pair it again, reconnect it with the app, reconfigure the app, do all this shit. There's another 20 minutes gone. That's just the gym. Every single piece of software out there, every single one, is nothing but bug-riddled trash. I've worked for software companies, several. I've got like 6 of them on my resume. A small software company that I worked for, we had known bugs, ticketed, documented in a Jira account, which is the app that you use to keep track of that stuff. We had 120,000 known issues in a company of like 20 developers. 120,000 known bugs. And nobody would ever be scheduled to fix them. They just pile up and pile up and pile up and pile up. Never get fixed. Never get fixed. They'd never get added to the work schedule. Because every single day you're building new features, and then you got to build new features, and then you got to build some new features. And then there's going to be, and nowadays it's like, well, we got to add some new AI garbage, and then some more AI garbage, and then some new AI garbage on top of that. The bugs never get fixed. They sit there in a pile. It's called technical debt. And then that technical debt would balloon from 120,000 known issues. A year later, it's up to 500,000 bugs. 500,000 bugs in a small piece of software. Known, documented issues that people complain about. And they won't let anybody even begin to fix them. They're like, fuck it, we don't care. And like when I bring this up in a meeting, my job as a user experience designer is to design the user experience. And part of the user experience is if it's a bug-riddled piece of trash that doesn't work, well, wouldn't that be a bad user experience? It just might. And so that was my job, and that's why I fucking hated it. Because I'm just being told by the company leadership, we don't care. And the reason, 99% of the time, we don't care because our competition's software is also a bug-riddled piece of trash, so we don't have to do any better. So fuck it, let it go. But then that technical debt would balloon, and all of a sudden the leadership would start bitching at the developers at the bottom of the totem pole. Why aren't you doing anything about fixing these bugs? And the answer is because you fucking assholes won't let anybody add bug fixing to the schedule for the next 6 months. Because we got to do new features, new AI garbage bullshit, and new features, and we don't get to fix any bugs. And they just keep piling up and piling up and piling up and piling up. If you've ever seen the movie Idiocracy, the Great Garbage Avalanche of 2550 is exactly what's going on in software right now. It's just it's going to turn into a garbage avalanche. And the software is going to get so bad that the whole system's going to collapse worldwide, and it's so badly built that no one's going to be able to fix it. And that's where we're headed. I don't know when it's going to happen, but it is. That's what's going on behind the scenes, I'm telling you. The Ford F-150 pickup truck has 2 million lines of code inside that fucking thing. Nobody, not one fucking person knows. Nobody knows what the fuck's going on in that truck. I guarantee you nobody knows what the fuck's going on in that truck. 2 million lines of code. Think about that. Nobody knows what's going on in there. But if I spend 10% of my life, and I think all of you do, if you really add it up, there's 24 hours in a day, 365 days per year. That's 8,760 hours per year. And if you spend 10% of your life dealing with bugs, software bugs that cause things not to work, and then trying to figure out how to get around it and still get things done, that's 876 hours per year dealing with bugs. It could be your car. Your car breaks down because it's got a software module that went bad. That happened to my car. I spent 2 months trying to get that car fixed, dealing with all kinds of crazy shit because my car's software stopped working. And it's all it was. It was a software module that had to be replaced. And the fucking mechanics couldn't even fix it. until they did. 876 hours per year dealing with the bugs that you come across. That's 21.9 full work weeks. That's that's almost 22 full 40-hour work weeks spent dealing with bugs per year. There's 54 weeks a year. But if you count a 40-hour work week, if you if you want to get this perspective of how bad the bugs are fucking up our lives right now, what if you go to log into your online banking and the online banking doesn't work because the banking system went down today? Or you go to process your Amazon order and it goes, whoops, something went wrong, right? You know, how many times you deal with, oops, something went wrong. You get the blue screen of death on your Windows computer. You got to reboot it. Yesterday I had to reboot my Mac because the streaming software wasn't working. And then it was bugging out during the live stream last night. I probably spent time in the middle of the live stream. I'm spending time trying to fix that bug instead of streaming. I'm going to be dealing with bugs when I go to upload this video to YouTube today. Like bugs, nonstop. Bugs. 22 full 40-hour work weeks per week out of 54 in a year are now spent dealing with bugs. That's almost 50% of your working year dealing with bugs. That's like that is almost half your year now is spent dealing with bugs. Bugs with, I work at a bakery. We have iPads on the wall, and we do, where there's software that's a big clusterfuck. That's a bug-riddled piece of trash, and it causes all kinds of problems. And it makes the orders take longer to make, and it wastes. You hit the print button, and it spits out like 25 fucking labels when you only needed one. And like the POS system is a complete POS, and it's riddled with bugs, and they change it all the time. And every time they change it, it's got even more bugs, and it's a total piece of shit. And every POS system is a POS. Every one I've ever seen. I used to work for a point-of-sale systems company working on their software design and marketing. And it sucked. It was fucking trash. I mean, everything is fucking trash now. But I'm doing the analysis. If you spend 10% of your life dealing with one bug after the next, that's 22 fucking work weeks out of your whole year that you wasted on bugs. So it's a massive problem. It's a massive problem because I'm not the only one who spends 10% of my life dealing with fucking bugs. I mean, I might deal with more than the average person because my entire livelihood depends on me sitting in front of a computer, working at a computer all day. But, I mean, bugs are everywhere. You work in an auto garage. You have nothing but computers now in auto garage. You got to plug a computer into the car and, do all the shit on it could be a Snap-on or some other brand, tablet that plugs into the OBD port of the car, and does things for the car. It's all bug-riddled trash. It's shit. It's dog shit. And you probably spend 10% of your working hours at the auto garage just dealing with the fucking bugs in the software you have to use to fix the cars. Guaranteed. Ask any mechanic if I'm right. So it's a billions of dollars problem. It's trillions of dollars. It's trillions of dollars in lost productivity when you look at it from a business perspective because the software is so bad. And now they're firing first they fired all the good programmers and hired a bunch of cheapskates from India on H-1B visas to come, or just offshored it altogether to write garbage code, which is even worse than the code that we already had. And now they're firing all the human beings altogether to have AI robots write all the code. That shit's going downhill in a handbasket. And I'm telling you, we're not far away from where the whole global economy is going to crash because all the software is so bad. And it's so bad that nobody can even fix it anymore because nobody even knows what the fuck's under the hood. Guarantee you, I've seen this. I worked in that industry. I know what I'm talking about. I ask anybody who works as a software engineer if I'm wrong. I guarantee you won't meet one that says I'm wrong. I guarantee you. We talk about this shit all the time. Think about the people who purchased a Nissan Leaf electric car because they want to do good for the environment, save money on gas. Nissan just put out an update to the car because they don't want to update the software anymore for an old car that they can't make any money off of anymore. So they bricked everybody's fucking car with a software update and said, fuck you, we're done. Good luck. And now all these people, now how much time did you lose to a software bug when you go out to your fucking car that's in your driveway and it's a perfectly good car that the company just turned into a brick with a software update, and now your car don't fucking work anymore because the company abandoned the software and disabled it, and now your car is just broken and sits in your driveway and is unusable. Is that a little bit of a lost productivity for your week, that your fucking smart car or whatever stopped working because the software company or the car company decided to pull the plug on the software that the car needs to run and said, you know what, fuck it, brick them. They'll have to go buy new ones now. Is that a little bit of a lost productivity for your week if your car's done, turned into a fucking brick? You got to have it towed to a dealership where you're going to get $50 in trade for the scrap metal because the car's a useless brick now? That used to run, it worked fine yesterday. The company updated the software, and now you've got a brick, a 2-ton brick sitting in your fucking driveway that you can't drive anymore because it don't fucking work because the company shut it off on you. Is that a little bit of lost productivity? Is that going to take 10% of your week to figure out how the fuck you're going to get to work and back and get to the grocery store and live your life, and then have to go to the fucking dealership and get another piece of shit car with a bunch of bug-riddled software that's going to ruin your fucking life 6 months from now again? Like, is that a little bit of lost productivity? That's where we're at. That's where we're at. And I do apologize for going off the rails today, but that's how my day started. My day started was I was going to be productive. I was going to spend about an hour doing some stuff, and then I was going to move on to like things that pay me. And now I'm in the middle of a fucking bug that I can't do anything about, and now I got to think, okay, well, this put a big fucking kibosh on what I plan to do today, and now I got to figure out how to get past this bug so that I don't get quagmired and stall on this project I'm working on. And because I'm at the point now where I'm like, I just want to abandon it. But no, I just got to find a way to do what I need to do without having to wait for this bug to be fixed, because it never will. They never fix the bugs. They don't care. So that was the 5-week Rise and Grind Challenge Day 27. I'll give you a quick recap of that the next time I shoot a video, but I'm not going to go and spend an hour talking about software bugs. But I know I pack a lot into these videos, and one of these days I'm just going to start taking my videos and chopping them up into shorts for the YouTube shorts to try and see if that will help the channel break out of the shadow ban. And so, but if you're one of the OGs that stick around to watch these videos, or you just listen to it in the background, that's what I would do with a video like this. I listen to videos like this all day long. It helps me get through the day. It helps me, have something to do, entertainment or whatever, or knowledge, while I'm doing other things that I don't need, that I can have a podcast going on in the background while I work, where I can kind of pay attention to it, but I can still do my work. And that's where I'm at right now. So I know I went a little off track with, what did I do to rise and grind? But how do you grind when 10% of your life is spent dealing with bug-riddled trash software that your whole livelihood and everything that you do depends on working correctly? And yeah, it's like, you watch that show with the gold diggers on Discovery Channel, where digging for gold up in Alaska, and they're bringing in like $10 million worth of fucking bulldozers and gold shit and equipment, and setting up an industrial complex to dig in the dirt for gold for 6 fucking months. And then what do they get enough gold, they get a gold, when they melt all the gold that they got all fucking year long, all the broken tractors and the broken bulldozers and the fucking thing that didn't work to get the gold, the fucking big giant tower, that the sluice boxes or whatever, all the fucking millions of dollars of shit they drag in there, and the environmentalist police that come up their ass, and you know, the weather, the bad weather, and everything else, and the big rocks that they get, you know, oh, I broke a tooth off the bulldozer bucket today, and, you know, or we ran out of gas because we're out in the middle of the fucking wilderness in Alaska, and we got to get someone to get gas to us, to fly a fucking helicopter with a big gas bucket to fill up all the gas tanks again, and like everything, right? And then at the end of the year, what do they get? They get a gold nugget about that big. They fucking destroy the whole environment for like 10 square miles with all this shit that they bring in there, and they have problem after problem, and nothing fucking works. Nothing works. And at the end of the season, they got a gold bar about that big. They might have broke even, they might have made a little bit of profit when it was all done. But they go through all that shit and all that broken shit just to get like a little bar of gold after 6 months of digging up half the fucking state. You know what I'm saying? We tore down a whole fucking mountain this summer, and we got a gold bar about yay big after it was all melted down and put into, like, you know, so we can take it to the bank and get our money. And it's crazy. And that's kind of what it's like, what I'm doing. You know, I'm digging in the dirt. I got a bunch of broken shit everywhere I look, but you just got to cobble it together and make it work good enough to get your money, get what you need done. You just got to figure it out. So, you know, I do figure it out. I'll figure out how to get past this bug, and then I'll find some other bug-riddled piece of trash to do the job that this bug-riddled piece of trash can't do. And then I'll find some other fucking bug that forces me to go find some other bug-riddled piece of trash so that I can still do the job that I need to do, because it's all garbage. There's no good software out there at all. The hardware is actually pretty good. The technology that the stuff that they're making, the devices themselves are fucking brilliant. They're insanely creative and brilliant and well built, and like they just get better and better over time. But the software is on a downhill rocket ship into the ground. The software is what's breaking everything. So with that, I'm going to let you go. Talk again later.